Part five, and this is into our B category, second part or second level of what we're learning. And so we're now checking out just to define, exactly what do we mean by serial killer? I mean, now we've looked at like crime scenes and what crime scenes tell us. What do we mean by serial killer? Well, first off, there have been a lot of infamous serial killers, and a lot of people have watched shows on, Ted Bundy, the Zodiac killer, who never actually was found. John Wayne Gacy, the guy who was actually dressed up as a clown and went to kids' parties. And above my head right now, you can see Jeffrey Dahmer. His name's covered up. Jeffrey Dahmer actually killed and then ate his victims. And then the Green River Killer, who killed 71 women. And so there's a lot of different serial killers that we look at, and we try to make sense of what makes them tick. And let's first define them. So a serial killer, the definition is, one, it's a murder of three or more persons. So that's the key. It's murder of three or more persons, but not just a murder of three or more. It involves a distinctive cooling off period. And what we mean by cooling off is that the murders don't all happen at once. They happen over time. And it could be days, it could be months, it could be years. But the murders take place over a long period of time. And again, the FBI says there should be at least three. All right. This differs than a mass murder. A mass murder is when three or more people are killed together. This is something that, of course, the news media obsesses over. And you get wall-to-wall coverage of mass murders. But they all happen together. That's not serial killer. Serial killer has a cooling off period. And spree killing is three or more persons killed in a short period of time, but at different locations. So that might happen across a day at different locations, maybe over a couple, 3 days, but it's different locations. That's a spree kill versus a mass murder. All right, so that's the definition of a serial killer. The typical serial killer profile here is that they're a white male. Now, to be clear, United States population is over 70% white, so of course, like serial killers are more likely going to be white men. However, it is a myth that white men are mainly serial killers. There are serial killers of every race. Matter of fact, I show you right here. Henry Louis Wallace, who was called the Taco Bell Strangler. He killed multiple African American women. And so, we have all kinds of them. There's ones that have been Latino and different ones that are even Asian. So serial killers come in all races. It's just in America, they're more likely to be white because the population's white. And also remember, serial killers almost always kill within their race. So there, you don't see that cross race. You see in this case, Henry Louis Wallace killed African Americans because he was African American. Late 20s, early 30s is typical of the age when this happens. Again, I already mentioned this, they kill within their own race. Typically, the method of murder is what we call hands-on, and that means they usually strangle or stab. That is, so guns are used, of course, but that's less likely. And the victim is often selected because of some specific characteristic. They all show up at Taco Bell, or they all eat at Taco Bell, or in the case of Ted Bundy, which you see here, he had a thing for young women in their 20s who had a part in the middle of the hair, long hair and a part down the middle. That's who he looked for. And he literally hunted for people hunted for women that fit that profile. The photograph on the right is Ted Bundy with his long-term girlfriend. And so, yeah, this is the situation. They're going to look for some specific characteristic. They're going to kill within their race, and they're probably in their 20s and 30s. All right, so that kind of just defines serial killers and what we mean by that. And we'll go on for the next one. Thanks.